Aloha, aloha. Happy Wednesday. This is Cindy, and I have a co host today, Marlo Anderson. And stay tuned, just 1 minute. Hello, Cindy here. I'm located here in beautiful Southern California, and today I have Marlo Anderson. He is the co-founder of National Day Calendar. You can see a calendar right back there, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. So, a little backstory on the web show. I've been doing this web show since 2017. I started blogging about travel. I followed in the steps of Anthony Bourdain, and then I started doing more podcasting, interviewing people who are making the most of the dash. So you may ask, what is the dash? So we have the day that we're born and the day that we pass away. That in between time, that is your dash. So I'm going to have Marlo take over for a minute or two, and I'll be right back.
Well, welcome everybody. Excited to be here. I think we're going to be talking a little bit about Bucket List Day today, something that Cindy has actually co-founded. And what is your bucket list, right? What do you have on that list? What do you want to get done? And I have some things. I'm actually doing a bucket list thing next week, which I'm very excited about. I'll be hiking into the Grand Canyon. It's been in the plan or in the works now for over 5 years. So I guess this is a true bucket list thing because all the planning that's gone into it and COVID kind of got in the way a little bit, but here I am, older, fatter, balder, and now going into the Grand Canyon. First day is like a 14-mile hike, but and then coming back out also a 14-mile hike. So that'll be really interesting. But it's slow, it's easy. Well, maybe it's not so easy, but you go at your own pace, right? If you need to take a little break here and there, and it's pretty cool because where I'm going, there's lots of waterfalls and all that great stuff. So you can lounge around and take it easy for a half hour, an hour, and then wander on again. So I think it'll be great. So yeah, I'm talking about my hike next week, Cindy.
That's amazing. I'm actually going to be in Vegas also. I'm going to be there the 3rd through the 9th, and then I'm doing New Jersey and Philadelphia bucket list, and I'm going to come back for National Bucket List Day, which we will be celebrating the 24th of April to the 27th.
And you're doing some of that in Vegas, right?
All in Vegas.
All in Vegas. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Well, if you're going to pick a city to celebrate Bucket List Day, I would say that's probably the appropriate city.
So let's talk about the inception of the whole entire idea. So I've been an ambassador since 2020, 2014-15, I started sharing. And I wanted to have a national day. And the original idea, because I'm writing a book on networking, and we have a whole chapter module that talks about how you can leverage national holidays to help others and pay it forward. And I reached out to your office, and your staff said that, as a matter of fact, National Bucket List Day is available. So let's kind of talk about that whole process.
Well, it's actually quite a process. I mean, we get about 30,000 applications a year for new national days. There's a committee that goes through those. And, if you're fortunate enough, and it's just a handful or so every year, might be a little more than a handful, but there's no set agenda. I mean, it doesn't mean, if we declare 20 a year that we're going to declare 20 next year. It might be 22, it might be 14. It just kind of depends on the applications that come in. But all the committee has to unanimously approve the national day. It's a very, very tough litmus test for a reason. I mean, if it wasn't, in 1 year, we'd have 30,000 new national days. It has to be special, right? It has to be unique. It has to be something that people can appreciate, can celebrate, can observe, whatever it is. And some of them are kind of unusual and weird. And some of those were around before we got started because I uncovered a national day from 1842 or 1797. Wow. Oh, yeah. The national days go all the way back to the founding of the country. So when I did the original research on this, a decade or so ago, it took 2.5 years of almost every night and weekend for me to uncover all of these national days that have been forgotten. We only had like 30 or 40 of them that we were celebrating at the time. By the time I was done, there were over 1,200 that we had uncovered. So
Wow.
that had just been forgotten. They were one-offs that a president declared, or Congress, or companies, or whatever, and that's kind of how the whole thing got started. And here we are now. So yeah, you having a national day is very, very rare, and it had to be something that people. Bucket list is on the national consciousness, right? People talk about this all the time. What is your bucket list? And we didn't have a national day around that. And it literally brings, more awareness to this and gets people thinking about what are these things that you want to do. And I think that's what's great about National Bucket List Day.
Well, let's talk about some of the things and then I'll open up the page. So for me, bucket list doesn't just mean marking off your number one destination, like if you want to go to Dubai or Cancun or you want to see the Northern Lights. It's about your goals also. I consider my bucket list as goals, the things I want to do. Become an author, become a podcaster. If I want to attend a Anthony Robbins seminar, there's so many different things. The gamut is huge.
Yep.
You know?
It's funny when you list those things off. I'm like, oh, wow, I would like to. I haven't been to Cancun. Well, kinda. I was off a boat, and what was the other one? The trip.
Northern Lights.
Well, okay, that's what I was going to get to here, right? That is something that I experience, I don't know, 50, 60, 80 times a year because of where I live, right?
Wow,
So
yeah.
it's funny how somebody's bucket list for you to see the Northern Lights is totally different than it is for me, because I experience that all the time. I'm envious of these other things that I don't get to do. And of course, somebody who lives around Cancun could care less about being there. But we all live in great places, and people should experience those things, right?
So in a little bit, we're going to talk about what's happening in Vegas, all the different activities, but I want to talk about what's happening all the way into 2029. So this year, of
Wow.
course, is Las Vegas.
Okay.
Next year, on actual National Bucket List Day, the 24th of April, we're going to be at Catalina Island. So we're going to do
Okay.
vacation there. And starting the 26th through the 3rd of May, Virgin Voyages is hitting the West Coast. So it's going to be our first try at this amazing cruise line, which is all adults. Kids are great, but sometimes it's nice to play with the adults.
And this is next year?
This is next year.
Okay, that's very cool.
And then 2027, we have Chicago. And Chicago has a lot of bucket lists, especially, I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain. He spent a lot of time in Chicago. And there's also the Dinner in the Sky.
Okay.
As well as skydiving. So my PR manager, Stacy, we've been talking about that to get all these different things together for Chicago. 2028 is going to be Jamaica, and 2029 is Nepal.
Wow.
So 2030 is going to be a big year for me. I turned 65 that year. So I'm thinking actually for my birthday that I'm going to go to Ireland. It's going to be a good bucket list because that's part of my heritage. But I haven't picked the actual bucket list day. That's more for my birthday.
Sure.
So which is in late July.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's on the website. So how do we celebrate National Bucket List Day?
Well, I think what you were just doing was pretty cool, thinking about what those bucket list items are and starting to put a plan together to make them happen, right?
Yeah, you want to create your bucket list. I actually have a book coming up later in May. It's an ebook, Pursuing Your Bucket List. And I'm going to give you ideas on how you can pursue that bucket list for under $100. So starting at $100, because not everybody wants to go on an extravagant $3,000 to $4,000 vacation.
Sure.
There's so many things you could do in your neighborhood. As a matter of fact, on the 14th of April is one of my favorite days, and it is National Dolphin Day.
Okay.
I will be in New Jersey, marking off some bucket lists there, so I'm unable to do it. But this next Monday, the 24th, we're going to celebrate National Dolphin Day ahead of time, and then I'm just going to repurpose it again, coming up in April.
So do you have what you think is a longer than average bucket list simply because you're the founder of Bucket List Day?
I would say so.
Because what do you think the average is? Is it like 40 or 50 items, do you think? And then people kind of whittle them down, or is it longer than that? I don't know if I could come up with 40 or 50. I guess I've had a pretty blessed life.
That's pretty easy. I mean, look at all the countries that we have, and
Well, okay. So, yeah, you're right about the travel part of it. But if you get rid of the travel thing, the other things that you can experience in life, right? I mean, what would that be? I mean, I think travel is the number one bucket list item, isn't it?
yes,
Okay. Okay. So then what else do you have? I like where you were going with like the podcast thing, right? I mean, I think most people I find it interesting. You and I are in front of a microphone a lot, right? So we don't think anything about it, right? But I was having coffee with a bunch of guys the other morning, and they were talking about there's two guys that were in there of these 10 that had been on the radio at some time in their life, from 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and they were still reliving that experience. And I'm like, this is something I do every day.
hmm
And I couldn't even conjure up what I talked to somebody about last week, much less 30 or 40 years ago. But to them, it was a very, very big deal in their life. So I'm just using that as an example. There are so many avenues nowadays. You have expertise, for example. You should get on a radio show or a TV show and work towards that. It's a great idea for a bucket list item, I think.
and I mean, it just keeps on going. It's unstoppable, and
Absolutely.
that's what you have to think with your mindset. A lot of people who will say, and I talk about in the book, they'll say, I don't have money to do this, I can't do this. And so change your mindset and remove that apostrophe say, I can do this, I can do that. And you can start small.
Yep.
That my
Yep.
my biggest thing is going to Anthony Robbins seminar. That's been huge on my list for a long time, and he's a big inspiration, a
Sure.
part of my networking group or book that you are being featured in. So there's so many different ways that you can use not just National Bucket List Day, but all these other holidays that are coming up. What do we have, around 1,700 holidays now?
Well, I did an exercise about a week ago because I
Mhm.
needed a CSV file for all the national days. It's actually just a tad over 1,800 now. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so we're starting to tick up there close to 2,000.
And
But we
yeah,
got a ways to go. It'll take a few years to get to that. Yeah.
and some of the things I'm doing is the people that become ambassadors that I become friends with, I'm actually interviewing them on their thought and
Nice.
why they love being an ambassador, and I'm uploading that to my book YouTube as
Okay.
a way to pay it forward to them. And
Sure.
also a big shout out to Dixie. She just became a founder of a national holiday. She's located in New Jersey. I'm going to be hanging out with her here in a couple of weeks. And the boiled peanuts day was pretty cool.
Oh, very cool. I was wondering which one it was that you were talking about. Yes, I remember
Mhm.
that coming across my desk. Boiled peanuts day. Have you ever had boiled peanuts?
She sent me some,
Did
and I
she?
actually got a little creative. So I had a taste right online. And then just 3 or 4 days ago, I did a video on TikTok and shared it with her on Instagram and Facebook. And what I did is I had a Trader Joe's Mandarin chicken, and I added her peanuts to that. I warmed up the
Okay.
peanuts and then I tossed it up. It was amazing. So you
You
can get
know,
really creative.
I I will tell you my first experience with boiled peanuts wasn't great.
Oh,
But but, no, I just think that they were made wrong. I don't know what the deal was with it, and, that'll be a story sometime when you and I get together. I have to share that story with you, or with the young lady who has boiled peanuts day because it's kinda funny, actually, the experience that I had, but I can't wait to try some that are actually prepared right. I'm sure they're amazing. I love peanuts, so
wow. Well, let's talk about what's happening here in April. So, April 24th, I'm getting interviewed by my publisher, and I actually fly into Vegas at 1 in the morning. So, it's
okay.
going to be a restful day for me.
Yes.
And so, I am looking into possibly doing that zip line in the evening around 8 or 9 o'clock. So, that's just a day of leisure. There's no crazy things that we have to do together. So, people kind of just do their own thing. And then we have the 25th, 26th, and 27th. So we have that pizza place. Was that Pizza Rock?
Pizza Rock right off of Fremont Street, yes.
So we have Pizza Rock. It's also National Brunch Month. So we have Esther's, which is right there in downtown.
One of my
We
favorite fast
have
food
the
esters.
Selfie Museum.
Oh, yeah.
We're also going out to the Marrakesh, which is about 6 or 7 miles from downtown. It's a Moroccan restaurant.
Okay.
And so
Never
that
been
there
there.
is about 60 a person. It's a really amazing experience because you have the
Okay.
belly dancers, you got the wine flowing, all
Wow.
this. Yes, then we have the Arte Museum that we're doing that weekend.
That's in Area 15, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I haven't done that yet either, but I'm sure it's amazing.
And I was going to do Princess Diana because that's a whole part of my story is when I send Princess Diana a wedding card, but because we only have 2 or 3 days, that might be something that maybe National Day staff and myself can kind of do that together at some point.
Sure.
And then we have the Mob Museum and we have the Neon Museum.
So those are also good choices. I've been to both. The Mob Museum's amazing. The Neon Museum is great too. I was I'm just, I'm trying to think. It's cool to see I was surprised at how many of them that they have in the Neon Museum that are not repaired. It's actually kind of a grassroots effort in Vegas to keep these signs going. So they do these tours, and that raises the money to fix these signs. So that's all it is, and it's really interesting to go through there. I had a good time. I like those things, and it's fun to see those old signs being, redone and brought back to life. The Mob Museum is incredible. It is. It really surprised me. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. It's hard to get tickets for that thing, actually. That's how busy they are. And then there's the downstairs is the speakeasy.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
And you need to go to that. And the music they have every night there is just incredible. You feel like you've just stepped back into the 30s and the 40s. It's just an amazing place.
Yeah, it's quite a joy there. And also there's a tiki bar down there, as well as comedy clubs. So I'm going to look into the comedy club. I believe Amy said it's one of the hotels downtown because it's National Humor Month.
Oh, very nice. Yes, get out and laugh a little bit.
So do you know any other holidays you want to mention during that week that you have on your head, or you want me to go to the website?
You're putting me on the spot here. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to the website and check out what else we got going on in April that week while everybody is in town.
A big shout out to your wife, Alice Anderson. Thank you.
Yeah, she's actually in watching here, so that's cool.
Okay, so we have days.
Yeah, the first one is Tomfoolery Day. Of course, that would be me.
Well, let's go through. And we'll be doing another podcast here in a couple of weeks where we're going to go through either Amy or Marlo, and we'll go through all the days for the month of April. But we just want to look at the week of for right now. Okay.
April's a busy month, I see.
It is. Okay.
There's
the 24th.
Day. Oh, Tug Like Shakespeare Day. Oh, would you like a glass of wine?
Oh, that's the 23rd.
That's the 23rd.
Now, also, Pigs in a Blanket Days on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Take your daughters and sons to work day.
That's a good day. Yeah.
Pigs in a Blanket.
Yeah.
Historical
Marker Day. Historical Marker Day kind of falls into what you're talking about by going to the Neon Museum, right?
Yeah, let me go ahead and go back there. So scroll up.
Yeah.
National Hairball
Hairball Awareness Day. That always cracks me up. Like we need to be aware of hairballs. This is too funny.
Oh my Lord.
But yes, Historical Marker Day. When you're at the Neon Museum, you can certainly partake in that. That's for sure. Hug a Plumber Day. Make them really uncomfortable. Go out and hug a couple and make sure that they know about it. Arbor Day, you're going to be there during Arbor Day, so there's probably some type of tree planting going on while you're there. Yeah.
Zucchini, telephone.
Oh, make a phone call. Just make a phone call. Celebrate Trails Day. So there you go. There's all kinds of trails around Vegas as well.
First Ladies.
One. There's a great trail on the east side in the Waterlands area. So that's a lot of fun to go to.
Depends on what time of year also. Because then you got Red Rock, which is very hot. Yeah.
April isn't too bad yet, though. I mean, you're probably getting up into the 80s or 90s by that time. So, well, there you go. And pool opening day is actually that weekend. So
that's amazing because we have the shark pool there at the Golden Nugget. So
yeah.
Perfect.
So there you go. Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Of course, sense of smell. Okay. Oh, pretzel. So can you recommend any pretzels downtown? I still got to do the research for that.
Yeah, somebody's got a pretzel down there. Oh my goodness. But well, for sure over at the Hofbrauhaus, if you
Oh
get
yeah,
over to off of the strip a little bit, they probably have the best pretzels in town.
and there you go, prime rib day.
There you go. Yeah,
So there's a
you'll
hotel downtown that does prime rib for $15 a person. So that's what's
yeah,
good.
if you went to like the and if you really wanted to get old school, especially if you're doing the Mob Museum, go over to El Cortez, which is pretty much right next door, and
Oh
they will
yeah,
have the that's old school right there. You'll walk in there and have a good old prime rib. Absolutely.
Tony Roma's. So when
Oh
I
yeah,
pass,
Tony Roma's is right there as
yeah.
well. Yeah, there's a couple places right there.
Global Pay It Forward. This is
Yeah.
a really great day because when we did our first national bucket list day, you remember it was the 8 day, 7 night cruise to the
Yes.
Mexican Riviera.
Yep.
So I went into the gift shop and I asked the lady, "Is that okay if I buy you a mug? It looks like you're wanting to buy a mug."
Yep.
She goes, "Oh, that's great. I'm down to my last $5." I'm like, "I'll buy it for you."
Wow.
I said, "Is that okay if I take a photo?" She said, "Yes, I would love that." So that's something you can do in the community while you're on vacation or just in your community. Find a way to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
Blueberry pie.
Yep. Superheroes Day was there too.
Ooh, scampi. Yeah, so this is towards the end of my trip at
Yep.
this point. Us. So there you go.
Yeah,
And
lots
anything
of
else
great
you'd
days
like
to
to
celebrate.
mention?
Well, I'm just, it's exciting that you're going to be celebrating Bucket List Day in Vegas. So, anybody, is it open to everybody? Anybody who wants to, they
It
can
is.
just
We
get a
do
hold of you,
have the
Cindy?
hotel booked, but anyone who wants to come, they could just reach out to me. You could find
Okay.
us on National Bucket List Day, or you could reach out to me here on the show.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That would be a lot of fun for anybody. But anybody wherever you're at, get out and enjoy. But if you wanted to, hang out with the person who founded Bucket List Day, hang out with Cindy Lee. Go to Vegas and have a good couple days. It sounds like it falls pretty much over the weekend, so most people
Yes,
should be
it's a
able to.
Thursday this year.
Yeah, so you just get take that Thursday and Friday off and head on down to Vegas and have a good time.
And I want to do a shout out. No, so this is a part of
Okay.
the show where we talk about shout outs. So first off, I want to do a shout out to my friends Anthony and Drew. So Anthony is going to be doing photos and Drew's going to be doing some videography. So big
Okay.
shout out to them. I actually know them through the Chamber of Commerce. And of course, Amy Monette, big shout out to her, to yourself, Marlo Anderson, and also Alice Anderson, and as well as Chris. So hopefully you like your shirts.
I have to stand up now. Maybe here.
Oh, you got it.
I'm getting. I don't know why my cord is so short all of a sudden here, but yeah, it looks nice, Cindy.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you guys want a
there we
shirt,
go.
um, just reach out to me. It's probably going to be a little bit late. Yeah, because we usually do it a month, at least a month out.
Yeah,
So
they look great. Thank you for that. That was
yeah,
fantastic. Yeah,
yeah. Thank
everybody
you
loves
for
them.
all you guys provide for me. I appreciate that. And let's talk about some pay it forward stuff that you would like to do moving forward. Let's say over the next month, especially that national holiday that we just went over.
As all the global pay it forward days. So, I mean, I know we do some big things here, but I am always about the small pay it forwards. I like that, buy coffee for somebody or whatever, and just kind of sneak out. I have where I go for coffee, for example, I have so many points in that place, so I
Oh,
just use them
yeah.
to buy coffees for whether it's a police officer or a first responder or whatever, I think those are always nice things to do. On the bigger side, this my one of my bucket list things, and this kind of goes hand in hand with what you're talking about, is, and I'm hoping that we can get to it this year. We want to start the Celebrate Everyday Foundation,
Okay.
and behind that would be it's a kind of a pay it forward type of scenario, but it would be based around national days. So when it's National um, Clown Day, for example, we would hire a bunch of clowns across the country to go to pediatric centers across the country and do balloon animals, for example. I mean, those are the things that we would like to do. So we're hoping that we can work towards that. So that's kind of our big bucket list here at National Day and that pay it forward type of thing.
Wow. So I want to say, while I'm in Vegas, I'm going to pay it forward to someone. Either buy them a meal, buy them a pretzel, wherever I'm
Sure.
at that moment. You still
And
have
you,
your celebration show?
yes,
Okay. You want to do a shout out to your partner?
yeah. So I mean, we have so Latoya Johnson. She's on our Destination Celebration radio show, and one of these days we'll probably start filming season 2 for the television show as well. So yeah, check us out at destinationscelebration.show.com. I appreciate that, Cindy.
And any shout outs for any Las Vegas businesses you'd like to mention today?
Sure. The Bungalow, that's my coffee shop.
Oh, wow.
So if
Okay.
right in downtown area there, not on Fremont Street, but in the downtown district. And my daughter was just down there and just flying back right now, as a matter of fact. And I sent her over there, and she said that she loves the Bungalow too. It's a great little coffee shop, so check that
Okay.
out. And Ellis Island, if you're looking for a great
Oh,
meal,
yes.
the
Oh, my God.
ribs, yeah, they're great,
Mhm.
aren't they? Yeah. So those are my 2 shout outs for Vegas.
I want to do a couple more days to shout out. So we have, I believe it's the 4th of April, National Burrito Day. So find a local taqueria or
Oh, yeah.
restaurant to pay it forward. And National Hug and Newsperson's Day. Is that actually the 4th as well?
I believe it is the 4th as well.
Okay.
So again, nothing makes people more uncomfortable than walking up and giving them a hug. So do it a couple times that day.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pick a couple news outlets here in Southern California, and then I got one in Detroit as well that I'm going to be sending out a little gift for Hug a Newsperson's Day.
Sure. You can do virtual ones too, I suppose, right? Send a little thank you with the little hug emoji. That would work real well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we are closing out. I'm going to put you in
Okay.
the green room. Anything else about downtown Las Vegas that we should add to our list?
In the Fremont Street area, you've covered a lot of them already. I would go down to the
No,
container
our
park.
taco place.
Oh, okay. The taco place.
Our Irish taco place.
Mini Fins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mickey
something like
Fins.
Mickey Fins. There we go. Very good, Cindy
Fins.
Lee.
Yes.
Yes, they love going there for tacos. I think they have like a 2-for-1 deal, like on Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights, something like that. Tuesday
Hopefully
night would make
Tuesday for
sense,
Taco
but
Tuesday. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure if they actually do their thing on Taco Tuesday, but yeah, Mickey Fins is a great place for those tacos, and yeah.
Anything else that you could think of?
Well, the container park, I would suggest that you go down there.
Okay.
Yeah, have you ever been down to that?
I have. I believe I went to the waffle place last time.
Okay,
National
yeah.
Waffle Day.
I always like watching the fire breathing praying mantis. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you say it out loud. You have to experience it because it's a much larger than life praying mantis that will start playing some music and start breathing fire. It's kind of an out there type of thing, but go check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, so we're going to close out and we're going to shout out the websites nationalbucketlistday.com and bucketlistcoachtravel.com. So if you are looking for an upcoming vacation, especially aviation, as a matter of fact, on the 4th, I'm heading out to the Thunderbirds. They're having a family air show that I got invited to. So
very nice.
I'll tell you about that a little bit later. And do a shout out to your website as well.
Yeah, on nationaldaycalendar.com. Go check us out. I know what the latest National Day is and all the cool things we have going on. All day Tuesdays at Mickey Fins. That's what Alice just said there. So there you go. The 2-for-1 taco deal.
And I want to do a shout out to Karen McLamara out of Seattle. She is one of the most amazing partners that I could ask for. We talk every 2 weeks, and she's keeping me accountable. And one of the things I want to mention before we close out, make sure to use your I am statements we talk about in the book. And my I am statement for the next 6 months is I am a finisher. As you need to get that book in your hands, right?
I love that. I'm going to start using it too. I am old, fat, and bald.
You can't do that. You don't want to affirm that.
Well, it's true. I'm just embracing who I am, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
Well, then you need to come out next year because you'll get a senior discount for the Catalina Express. There you go.
That's right. Where's my damn discount?
Well, there you go, guys. This is Cindy and Marlo. We're hanging out here in California and North Dakota, and we hope you celebrate every day.